I have to make sure that I have the orientation correct in the YouTube settings before I jump on with you guys. So I'm going to be filming. I decided to start doing some horizontal and some vertical lives. So this, I was on earlier. I was on earlier with a vertical live and talked a little bit about the commercial that I shot yesterday. So I have a tomorrow. I have either I still don't know yet. So either Monday or Tuesday, I'm shooting a music video. I have a day player part playing some kind of character in a hotel that's checking someone in. And the big interesting thing about it is that I'm not sure who the artist is. It's a music artist and a Sony music artist, and they said a recognizable name, and they're keeping it secret. It's kind of funny when they do that. But the reason they do that is so that they're not swamped with a lot of people showing up to the set, that they don't have to have extra crowd control. So it's supposedly supposed to be an artist that's big that people would show up for. So once I'm able to, I will let you know about it, obviously, let you know what video I was in and who was in it. But what I want to talk about today, I want to talk about something big as far as my editing goes. Now, this is a production related topic. For years, I edited exclusively. Let me move this back a little bit. Sorry about that. For years, I edited exclusively on a Mac. I started out on, my very first Mac was one of those, what was it called? Mac DV Pro. It was one of the big desktop ones, and it was specialized for digital video. At the beginning of the digital video era, when everyone started editing digital video, Mac was really deep into it. So they built a couple of iMac. Yeah, it was an iMac. It was one of the big iMacs, the television style ones. And so it was even before, it wasn't even 16 by 9. It was still in the 4:3 era, I think. Now, it was so long ago, I can't even remember now. I still have it. I put it away in the closet. But anyway, I started on a Mac. And I used to edit with Final Cut Pro. I was a big Final Cut Pro fan for years and years and years, maybe 10 years. And the thing that made me so upset with Final Cut Pro was after about 10 years of every year buying their new software, and the software would come on disk. And you would have to get those discs, and it was a whole nicely packaged package, and it was expensive, $1,400 every year. So I was a full-time editor, and Final Cut Pro was my tool. And so I worked on it all the time. And when they decided to go to the subscription service, and not only did they decide to go to the subscription service, they simplified the program. And the reason they did that, from a business point of view, I understand. They did it because then they could reach more people. They could reach more people who wanted to edit because they made the program much more simplified. But they just got rid of and ignored all of us pro people who had been with them for over 10 years, constantly buying their software and, doing the upgrades every year. So they just abandoned us. It was a blow. It was a blow. And not only myself, but a lot of people really got upset about that decision. And so what we did, myself and a whole bunch of other people, we moved to Premiere because Premiere stayed true to the video editor. And at that time, Premiere didn't have as many tools as Final Cut Pro did, because Final Cut Pro had been the whole time a professional editing system for editors. And it was great at that time. I mean, it had everything, and it had constant third-party support. It had development from Final Cut Pro, obviously. They would always be bringing in more tools for the video editor, and a professional editor who was working on television and film and feature films and all kinds of tools for the professional video editor. But they just decided that from a business point of view, it was smarter to go for more people, which I understand, being a businessman myself. If you can make your audience wider, then you're going to make more money. And it worked. It worked for them. It worked for them. They got a bigger share of people who wanted to, up their editing game, but they didn't want to go all the way to the pro version because there was a big learning curve with the old version of Final Cut Pro. And you had to keep learning, just like now. But Premiere came in and they filled that void. So I've been editing with Premiere for the past 10 years. and on a PC, on a PC. Um, my last Mac probably cost me. It was the real expensive desktop one. They call it the cheese grater. It's no more made anymore. It was a big giant tower with the holes in the front, the holes in the back. So I had one of those. I'd spent like $4,000 on it, probably another $2,000 getting RAM and internal and external hard drives. And as the years went on, I would run into more problems because it couldn't upgrade to the newest OS Mac operating system. So I decided to make that big move. I bought a very powerful PC uh, workstation, HP from Hewlett Packard, and I've been using that for the past 6 years. But yesterday, or day before, well, last week, but it arrived yesterday, was back to the Mac. I decided I wanted some more freedom editing. Most of my editing now I'm doing a lot of stuff here on YouTube for you guys. I'm constantly sitting in my workstation at home. So I decided to get this iPad Pro, and I bought a pretty expensive one. I got the 1 terabyte hard drive with, topped out RAM, and it works great. I love it. Another reason I bought it also was because have been using Sora 2, which is, primarily for the Mac. They have PC versions. I started on the PC version of Sora 2 to generate artificial intelligence video, and I've been using that. You'll notice if you go to my channel, you'll see I have some content there. I've been making a series, and it's starting to get a lot of views. You guys are watching it. Tammy, the actress and writer, you can find that on my channel. Go to the link below. But I decided to go back to Mac because of the artificial intelligence, and also because the freedom using a Mac iPad Pro, sorry, I can't even say it correctly, iPad Pro was going to give me the freedom to edit wherever I want, to get out of the house more. I need to get out of the house. And so I've been doing a lot of editing. So I decided to make that big plunge, move back to Mac operating system. And so far it's going pretty good. I found out also that I can't edit with Premiere because Premiere doesn't make software. Well, they make some kind of software, but it's not full version of Premiere for the iPad. So I jumping back into Final Cut Pro for the iPad. And I just started cutting something, and it seems good. It's a simplified version of Final Cut Pro, again, like they did, but it's more simplified even for the iPad. But I'm loving it, and it's working great for me, and I'm going to stay with this for a while, I guess, now that I made this big decision to have two platforms, the PC and the Mac. And that's what I used to have always. I always had a home PC, and I did all my editing on the Mac. So now it's kind of reversed. I'm going to do a lot of my editing that I can on the iPad. I can't do everything because some clients require my bigger system, multi-monitors, much more storage, full version of the Premiere Pro software, because that's what I'm going to stick with. I'm going to always stick with editing now with Premiere, since I've been editing so long and all my projects are in Premiere. I know Premiere like the back of my hand, so I'm not leaving it, but I'm going back to Apple on the iPad to give myself some flexibility about when and where I work. So I work from home most of the time. I have clients, and I work for my clients. I work for myself. I have my own editing business. So that just gives me even more flexibility, that I can go out to a coffee shop. I can go shoot. I can actually even shoot with the iPad. It shoots ProRes, which is a high quality video file that I can edit in Premiere Pro. So I even bought myself an external hard drive for my iPad when I need to take stuff off and move it away and take it to another project, or back it up, or take it to my main computer for editing. So that's just a little technical update about editing. I'm going to give you more updates as I continue my new experience moving back to the Mac. So I think that's what I'm going to name this video, Moving Back to the Mac. So this is just a little introduction. I'm going to do some more where I plan out different topics to talk about transitioning, or not transitioning, moving back to the Mac. Um, I missed it. I still have a lot to learn now because I haven't used it. I haven't used a Mac in probably well over 10 years. Well over 10 years. And so they're up on operating system. I think this iPad is operating system 23 or something like that. So it's been a long time and stuff I need to learn. How this does this, how this works, how that works. So I'm learning it. I learned a lot today working with the iPad. I got it all set up. That took a while. Um, Signing in, getting all the software that will run on the Mac that I'm used to using on my PC. So I'm working on that. I'm downloading everything. They had a little transfer tool that worked well. I was able to connect my phone to the iPad and bring off all the software off of my phone that's compatible with the Mac. So that was a big time saver. That worked well. It was USB-C, so I was just able to connect the USB-C from my phone to my Mac. And I'm on an Android phone. I've always been an Android phone. I've never purchased, even though I was a Mac guy for editing, I never bought an iPhone. And I don't think I ever will. I like their editing software. I'm loving this iPad right now. I didn't get the iPad with the cellular service, so it's all Wi-Fi. And the Wi-Fi seems to work great here at home. I'm going to go out and test it at some other locations, like go to a nice coffee shop, sit back and do some editing. And I'll have content on my external hard drive that I can transfer over. And I got the 1 terabyte internal drive for my iPad Pro, so that way I can put stuff on there and edit while I'm on the go, and then I can download it when I get home and take it off and free that space back up. I have plenty of space though, but you always have to be wary of overstuffing your hard drive, which you don't want to do. And video editing can easily do that. So I will be developing some workflows, and I'll be talking about those here. I'm just going to add that to my range of topics. Again, what I talk about here is acting, directing, and editing. And that's what this is, editing. So I'm glad whoever's out there who is thinking about getting an iPad Pro, I'm going to be bringing you updates about it and letting you know the details about my big move back to the Mac. My move back to the Mac. Okay, so I'll talk to you soon. I'm going to probably pull some shorts out of this if there's anything interesting, but most of it is going to be for this horizontal live, which I'm trying to start doing more of these also. The thing about doing a horizontal live is that, I don't have my my little cheat notes that I use when I do videos, and the reason I use those notes are to keep me on topic. I have a tendency to ramble, as you see in this video. I'll start talking about something, and then something will pop in my mind. I'll start talking about that. But I'm going to keep doing that. And also, too, my eye line. My eye line for the camera is right here on the phone. And so I have to get used to that also, so that I'm looking at you guys when I'm talking. And so, yes. So I will keep you updated. I'll let you know when the next one's coming out. And I will be talking about my new adventures of iPad editing. Thanks a lot. I'll see you in the next one.